So in this video I'm going to talk about just the interior of the car. There are a lot of things that can be done. I've only done a few things that I find are just the bare minimum if you want to take your car on the track. So yeah, let's start with the front. So the very first thing I did is I rewrapped the wheel in Alcantara. What I really wanted to do is I wanted to switch to the M wheel, the M3 wheel. However, that has a two-step airbag, and since this is a pre-facelift E46, it has a one-step airbag. So that's a little bit tricky, so I had to make the best with what I had. So I rewrapped it and got it rewrapped in Alcantara. I just took a random trim shop on eBay, and I have to say they actually did a very good job. There are a few details which are not very nice, but overall it's completely fine. You just have to make sure to clean it every once in a while with dishwash soap and water. Right now it really needs it. There's a lot of fat on there. Then I got a 12 o'clock marking, which I actually find very nice for driving fast, just so you can see where the wheel is. Then the next thing is, especially if you don't have sports seats, which these did not have, is a bucket seat. And when buying a bucket seat, it is very important to not just consider the price of the seat, but the accessories as well. So in this case, we have a Recaro pole position. I've still got the stock 3-point belts, then the Recaro L adapters and the tracks, and then you also need a console for your specific car. There are many manufacturers which produce these consoles. In this case, it was Laptimer Performance. Laptimer Performance is a Tracktool company, or they build a lot of track tools just north of Munich, and they also produce a few parts, especially for BMW's Mini. So if you need some stuff, go check them out. They've done a few stuff on this car, especially the setup, and they did a really good job with that. Then moving on to the shifter. The shift stick itself, going to the gearbox, is a little bit shorter, which makes the shifts a little bit more notchy. And since this car does not have M packet, I did decide to get the M shift knob, which gave it a bit of a nicer feel. Eventually I'd like to get a short shifter. However, there's a pretty wide spectrum of the ones you can get. You can get the cheapest ones on eBay for like 100, 200 euros, or from Drift King parts. Then you can get an IRP, which is about 300 to 400, or a CAE shifter. Supposedly CAE is the best, but they are quite pricey. And since this whole bill is a bit on a budget, I'll probably be going for something in the middle like IRP eventually. Eventually I'd also like to get a second seat, but there is only one at the moment, hence budget build. These seats aren't too cheap. This one I think new is about 700. I got it used for like 450. Yeah, that's it for the front. Let's move to the back. Nothing spectacular really, except that I took out the rear seats. Reason for that being is that it is actually quite a lot of weight, and they're very easy to take out. It's just one bolt here in the middle. You take them out. However, the first time I took them out, I did notice that I lost a bit of stiffness, which is reasonable because there's a massive hole in the rear. And the rear seats do actually act to stabilize the car a bit, which is why I got strap bars for the front and for the rear. And in the rear, they go here from the shock towers. And that definitely gives the chassis some reinforcement, which is lost when taking the seats out. However, the rear seats do lose a lot of weight. And other than that, that's actually pretty much it for the interior. However, in this video, I do want to do an installation of another piece. So let's check that out. So basically, a company called Seicane reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to test one of their Android radios. At first I wasn't very interested, but then I realized that there could be one advantage for driving on track. And basically, one of the most commonly used apps on track days is Harry's Laptimer, which is a really good lap timer, and it basically has all the tracks in the world, and it gives you indicators if you're going quicker or slower in this lap, and lots of really cool data. So I thought if I install this radio, this would give me a chance to have this lap timer directly in the car, opposed to always mounting the phone in the car, or potentially even trying out different lap timers, reading out OBD data. So there's a few interesting perks that this would bring with. So yeah, let's unbox this thing. I'll show you how to install it, I'll tell you what it's like, and we'll see if it's a worthy upgrade for your Tracktool. So this is what you can expect when unboxing the Seicane radio. Guessing this is a CAN bus decoder. Then we have some wiring, which I'm gonna have to get to when installing. Apparently this is all plug and play, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Manual, and this is the actual radio. The radio that they decided to send me is this one, which is basically just one big touchscreen. Should be interesting. I'll be interested to see how this looks with the interior. I hope it doesn't look too out of place. So yeah, let's get installing. So we have taken the climate control out, the storage piece, the climate control, the old Bluetooth system, and we're ready to put the new radio in. However, I am noticing a problem that these pieces of the radio on both sides are colliding with these edges here, which means the radio is too big, which is not the best fit. So that's already unfortunately a bit of a minus point for install. But we're going to try to make it fit and see how it goes. Alright, so we've installed the module. As you can hear, sound is working. The fit was pretty bad. I had to file a decent amount away from my dashboard from the inside, so it's not visual. Still a bit annoying, but let's take a look at the system here. The touch response is pretty good, I have to say. We've got all our apps here and our pages. I do not have any internet module or anything, so I don't have internet, unfortunately. So I need to figure that out, but I can do a hotspot for my phone, and I'm going to try to install a Laptimer, and then hopefully I can have a big Laptimer running here. But yeah, main thing is it's working, Bluetooth is working, I can do calls and whatever. So yeah, let's put all of the rest together, and should be a good wrap then.